The world is a vast place. With tech, we're connected now more than ever. A single idea could thrust us into a new frontier. But where does an idea come from? How does it start? What if I told you it's just the natural progression of things?
What's up, dude?
What, Chris?
How's it going? Hey, John. So I got this thing. Just want to give you guys an update with LeadrPro. Let me go ahead and show you like where we're at right now. So now it's like this is becoming a lot more real, so you guys can see this. This is going to be like the seller dashboard. So basically for our clients, we're going to... So I've been operating growth team for 4 or 5 years now. That became like the calling card for me because a lot of the startups saw their rapid growth and were like, oh shit, you helped them do that. I went down this path of doing consulting and then ultimately outgrowing what I was able to do on a consulting basis, having to hire people to help, and then built an agency. And that's how we ended up with Growth Team, where it is today. Really, like the last 3 years has grown so much. How are we doing that?
We have the original list, so we can go back and expand it to more people at the company as well.
I would say our bread and butter is direct, whether that's SMS, email, DMs. It's mostly direct contact with, the target personas. We work with B2B SaaS companies. They've got a product, it's got some validity to it, and it's our job to get them their first, sort of big batch of customers. Then from those customers, help them learn how to improve the product and where to go from there.
I always had the idea for automating this stuff or figuring out, I think, like what should be automated. So like the idea was always, I think like the idea was in my mind to always like build something scalable. I wasn't sure what it is until we started proving out the process for the incentive-driven demos. And then when we started to see that that's actually repeatable, that's when I think like the idea of this should be the idea that's a scalable idea. And then, because before we were talking about like growing the agency, right? Like,
Yeah, we tried a bit.
yeah.
Like we expanded a bit.
In marketing, we usually try a lot of stuff. You really test a lot of stuff before you find out what works. So then when you found out a thing that works, and then if you can imagine it turning it into a product and be used for all the other marketing people, then that's how LeadrPro was born. It was stemming from a really good marketing idea, and then I think probably Chris thought that this could be used for a lot of people who work in marketing.
When you talk about tech in the business space, which is kind of what we focus on, specifically like software as a service, like there's still a lot of room, right? Like there's a lot of room for improvement. Every industry goes through these cycles. I think like every 5 to 10 years, there's room for every industry to kind of like reinvent itself. Because the way that we do business has changed and evolved, the way that we interact with people has evolved. So within businesses, selling to other businesses, these kind of software solutions, there's always that constant evolution of like creating some kind of new software that's going to displace the old one. Yeah, I think I get it. I think I remember now. I think it's like, there was the realization that trying to grow this agency through people it's going to be very, very hard. And then it was like, well, how, one, that was like the realization of like, there's a limitation here. And then 2 was then figuring out how do we remove that restriction. Now, if you think of traditional like B2B marketing, like it's usually like, you know, especially in the startup world, it's like trying to convince somebody how great you are and how amazing your solution is. How do you get somebody to trust you to take a meeting, let alone use your product? And we work with clients where our main deliverable is just generating more meetings, right? So more what we call them product demonstrations. A lot of times it's just kind of like relate it back to, it's like we're like a matchmaking service. And we've gotten good enough to the point where a lot of these processes are repeatable. So we've already proven out in this manual, fragmented way where it requires like 5 humans to actually do all this work to get somebody scheduled and all the logistics behind it, doing the back and forth to coordinate. LeadrPro is an automated solution of all that stuff.